What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with some Destiny, and what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be doing a strike. This is going to be part of my in-game sort of guide for new players, for new level 20s and beyond, and trying to help you guys out with some in-game progression. And I really wanted to go through and do each one of the strikes in the game, but I was trying that on my leveling up guide, but it's been proving to be kind of difficult because I keep getting matched up with pretty poor teams, and when you're in the early levels like level 10, level 12, it's a lot more difficult to get through those strikes on your own solo, or if somebody quits, or if your team just isn't that good. So we are going to start today. I'm on my level 32 Titan. We're actually going to be doing, this is the weekly heroic strike, and this week it's Cerberus Vae the Third, which has Valis Turok as the boss. This is one of the perceived to be harder strikes in the game. This apparently is one Bungie is actually going to be nerfing the health of the boss in the next patch 1.1.2, because according to their numbers it takes people on average almost 27 minutes to finish this strike, which personally I find that to be a little bit on the long side, because I've never really had too much of an issue with this strike. Even when somebody quits out and we've got two people to have to finish, still normally able to finish the strike in under 20 minutes. So I'm not sure why people are having so much trouble with this actual strike. Hopefully I'm going to jump in here with some good teammates, and I'm hoping this will be be able to start at the beginning, because a lot of times what happens to me in these is I get matched up with people that are already at the boss, and can't really give you guys a good picture of what happens during these strikes. That's really what I wanted to try to do, is take you through these strikes step by step, and sort of just give you my insights and thoughts while I'm playing through.
What I can gather, he commands the siege dancers.
I don't see any other ships popping up here, so it looks like, oh, okay, here we go. Okay, good. We're going to be starting this from the beginning, so I'll be able to commentate through most of it. Now, this is a level 30 weekly strike. This is going to be quite a bit more difficult than, say, the Vanguard level 26 rock strike. There are more major enemies in these, and there are more enemies with shields. Either way, this strike, you're going to be running into a lot of enemies that have solar shields, especially the Centurions. There's some Scions on the last fight that have void shields, so you might want to bring weapons that are, equipped for dealing with those. The first part of this one is pretty easy. You just come right down to this building, and you're going to basically turn on this machine over here that's going to open up, unlock a door you're going to have to go find. You're going to let your ghost unlock a door, decode a computer. As usual, that's his usual thing in this game. Also going to suggest, guys, use those resupply codes here that will give you more glimmer when you're killing Cabal, because obviously you are going to be dealing with a lot of them. Now, this part over here, you're going to make your way over to this door. There's going to be a bunch of Cabal out, and see, here's what happens in a lot of these strikes. And maybe this is why they take so long to run. You can see that my two teammates just completely ran by all of this. Kind of left me out here. There's a Colossus out here who can kill you pretty quick if you're not careful. There's a bunch of Sealer I just got drilled there, and now I got to try to get past all these guys by myself to catch up with my teammates, who are both already moving on to the next part of the strike. I know a lot of people will try to rush through and just get these done as quick as they can, but that also kind of aggravates me a little bit, because a lot of us want to actually run through the enemies. You get a better chance at drops. Now this middle section here is a little bit can be a little difficult. There's a couple of major Centurions. There's a Colossus here, so you just want to work on thinning these guys out. If you got a good sniper rifle, you can use that. You see this guy over here, he already died. Try and get over to him. I'm running my striker here with flashbang grenades, so I can kind of confuse some of these enemies. And in this section is not a dark zone, so you actually don't have to revive your teammate. This guy would get off me, he keeps pushing me around here. So we're going to just slowly work around, and these guys are probably the biggest, most dangerous enemy in here. You can see there that these guys take quite a bit to whittle down. And you can see this guy has already run ahead again. He's advanced all the way towards the end, so normally you're going to want to kind of thin these guys out. Try to kill as many of these guys as you can if your team is taking it slow. And I'm one of those, I'm kind of a flexible player, and since these guys are running ahead, I'm just going to run ahead, because it just makes no sense for me to stand here and try to kill these guys by myself. So, just kind of do what your team does. There's no sense in really quitting out if your team's not running, because if there's three of you, it's gonna go a lot easier.
Lieutenants are here.
So after you get through that initial stage there, you're going to come out to fight Valus Tarok's guard. And this is where some of his generals are. There's going to be a Colossus right here. You want to take him down pretty quick. He is a major. So we're going to take him out with sniper rifle. He's down already. You got a couple Scions here. Now you can grab the vehicles on the left or the right. They do have rocket launchers, but a lot of the times it's almost like in Halo whenever you got on a vehicle with a lot of enemies around. Those things are basically death traps and or magnets for just about every piece of artillery the enemy can throw at you. You see you've got some major Centurions out here. These guys are solar. Now they have the solar shields, so it takes a little bit to get them down. I'm actually going to switch up here because this part I need a little bit more firepower with my sniper rifle, so I'm going to change over to my icebreaker because it is solar and I'm going to have more ammunition. I've also got my scout rifle here. So let me take some of these guys out here from range so we can work on this. Now, like I said, this is a weekly strike, so the enemies are a lot more difficult than it would be if this was the Vanguard level 26 rock strike. You would not have any of these majors here. It would all be regular enemies, unshielded enemies, so it wouldn't be a really big deal. So this is just what I'm hoping to show you guys here is that this strike can be done even, even with on the harder difficulty. It can be done in a relatively decent amount of time, hopefully. Now, sometimes you are at the mercy of your teammates. Like I said before, it just kind of depends on the pace they're running, and how they want to do things. But, just take your time, don't rush. If you rush up in here with all these majors, you can get killed really quick. So we're going to take him out. You see he's got solar shields, some icebreaker works very well there. We got a couple of Scions running around here. Those guys are really annoying. Especially, you'll see come the boss fight, those guys can be a real pain. They've got this really powerful void melee attack that if you're running this on the Nightfall sometimes, with the burn if they have it on, or just in general if the melee modifier is on, they can kill you really fast. Alright, so the first guard, when he goes down, oh, it's right on top of me here, of course. I didn't realize my guys had killed him. The first guard gets killed, this ship is going to fly in. It does have a missile launcher on the front that will shoot at you if you are standing over by the little structure there. It's going to drop off a bunch of people. And you're just going to want to take them down. It drops off the second guard. He's going to always go up and try to go up into this tower up here. So if you've got a sniper and you see they knocked him off, best way to take him out quick is with the sniper rifle. He will go down really fast. You can see we got him down there really quick. The third guy is going to spawn from over here. On this side, he's going to come out of a little cabo there. I need to find some ammunition for my scout rifle. Got my super, which I always seem to hang on to my supers for whatever reason. Very ill-aimed super, but hey. Guy out there. Now, these phalanxes or any guys with the shields, you do want to stay away because they can smack you halfway across the map, and it does do quite a bit of damage. So these guys up here taking shots at me. Take him out. And we got these guys will come out from the side over here.
I'm picking up
the
another
third
one of
guy.
these
This
heading
is
this way.
usually a Centurion and a couple of normal Cabal. This guy's a bit of a pain in the butt because he is a major. Just managed to blind him with the flashbang. And Centurions are like wizards with the hive. They just love to run away. That's what they do. And you can see up there it says destroy the Goliath. We actually have cleared out phase, the three guys there. I always like to take out the enemies though, so you're not getting hit. This next part is a tank. You have to take this tank out. It has 4 vulnerable spots on its legs. And it's kind of like the Devil Walker. This thing has a cannon that will one-hit kill you if it hits you. This can be a part that can get very difficult if you have teammates that constantly die. And you can see he's hiding behind a rock right there. Okay, there he is. Okay, so these legs, you want to shoot these jets. You're going to get precision hits on those. And it'll take a few to pop each one of those. Catch on fire. And then you want to try to stay out of his sight lines, though. The longer you're in his sight lines, the better chance he's going to shoot one of his shots. You see it hit right there. If you're anywhere near that explosion, you will die. The splash damage on it is pretty crazy. This is a good spot up here on top of this little. You see that guy was that close to it, and he got taken down. So But you definitely want to stay up on top here, where you're not out in the open, and if you back up, back away a little bit, you can get clear of those explosions normally. Alright, so we've got 2 of the jets down there. Start working on the other one. Just gotta let my ammunition reload here. It's gonna come right up for us. Nope. Okay. Usually when you pop all 4, the tank will be destroyed. So you can see there, he is down.
All right, let's go get.
Now this part, again, it depends on what your team wants to do. A lot of the times, everybody's going to jump on their Sparrow and just blast right through this. There's a couple enemies hanging out down here you can go after if you want to kill them. But most of the time, people are just going to run right through here. So we're just going to head on down to the next part of the strike. Now we're almost actually to the boss. That's pretty much really the only difficult part of the strike through there is dealing with that first room, which my teammates ran through, so I had to kind of catch up, and then dealing with the tank. The tank, depending on your team, if they stand out in the open a lot, they can get shot and killed pretty easily. And then you have to try to go and revive them while the tank is shooting at you. So now this part again here, I'm one of those guys, like I'm in no hurry, so I'll sit out here and take shots at these. But you can see there, they're running forward again. So, and one of them died trying to get into the map. Actually, that's some other guy here, and I'm probably gonna die now too, because see, I hate that. It's like they just ditch you. That's not being a good teammate. But like I said, just try to adapt. If you're playing with some guys who are just running ahead like that, then just run ahead with them. Can't beat them, join them, and you're gonna get the strike done a little bit faster. So that's just what you have to do. Just try to adapt to the situation. Alright, so this room here, you're going to have a couple of guys. Normally this isn't too bad when you're running the regular strike or the Vanguard Rock Strike. Here, of course, we've got the Major to deal with and a couple of tougher enemies because this is a little bit more difficult. Grab some ammo here. See, I don't know why they're sitting here taking these guys out. They ran through everybody else, because you can skip this room too, so... A couple of Majors. Down. Sure, we got plenty of ammunition here. 5. Okay, now you head into the next room over here. This is actually where you are going to fight Valis Tarok. Now there's a number of different ways you can take this boss fight on. There are a couple of cheese spots here which people a lot of the times will try to use, which I don't understand. So by the time you're halfway done trying to get up to the cheese spot, you've pretty much wasted a bunch of time when you could have been damaging the boss. Yeah, we'll see where these guys are going to go. Yeah, there's a cheese spot up here in the ceiling people will go up to. I wonder if he's not trying to get up there. But Valis Tarok will come out from over here. He's going to be immune for a few seconds like most bosses before he can start damaging. You see the immunes there before he can start damaging him. And this is actually, they are going to be nerfing his health by 1/3 because this guy is absolute bullet sponge. You can see the guy already died over there. And the thing about when you're doing the weekly strike, you can't actually wait and self-revive like after 20 seconds. That's not an option. You basically have to wait for a teammate to come and get you, and that can be very dangerous, especially if your teammates die in a rough spot. Like, I can tell you right now, if those guys both die over there, like, I have no intention of going to revive them. Just because I would probably get killed, we'd probably wipe and have to start over again. You're much safer on this right-hand side because a lot of the enemies are going to come out from over on the left here. You will get a door right here that some Cabal will come out of. You have to just pay attention to your radar. There's a door over here as well that they'll come out of and come up the ramp. Just pay attention to your radar. See, we've got Valis down quite a bit already. He's moving. When he gets to about a quarter of his health gets knocked off, he'll move from this platform over to the platform on the other side. You can see here these guys came out of the side there. Just backtrack if you have to. Keep in mind, Valis Tarok is on the other side there, and he can hit you with his machine gun, which will take you out pretty quick. Now, the reason I say to stay on this platform on the right is if he's on this side right here, you can hide behind this box. You can hide behind this box and kind of go back and forth and take shots at him and throw grenades. And you want to just stay out of his rocket salvo. That'll kill you pretty quick, and so will his machine gun. Now when he switches over to this side, you've got this box right here you can kind of hide behind. You can come up here and use this pillar right here for cover. Break line of sight, whatever. And really, just as long as you keep an eye on your radar up here and pay attention to your surroundings, and don't get flanked by the guys that can come out of that door right behind you, then you really are pretty safe here. Now, the only time this can be tough is in the Nightfall strike, because you are kind of up in the open. And there's usually a burn modifier. You can see on the radar here, these guys are going to come popping out here. Got my super saved up there, so that's usually what I keep my super for if I'm running my striker, and smash those guys with a fist of havoc as soon as they come out of the door there. The most annoying enemies you're going to have to watch for are going to be the Scions. These guys are going to be majors if you're doing the weekly, and they do have a very powerful melee attack that can take you down really quick. You see Valis is on the move again, get some more Scions over there. These guys are all majors now. Like I said, in the regular strike, these guys are just going to be regular enemies, so you're not going to have a lot of difficulty dealing with them. See, these two guys are over there in the little one of the hiding spots there, and you can see everybody's just kind of swarming around them. So they're not really doing a whole lot of good over there. It's hard to get shots on the boss when you've got the entire enemy team, like all the enemy mobs, like focused around you. And like I said, if you're up here, you got a lot of freedom of movement. Just watch that radar, and you can actually. Let me look. These guys are all just scattered around. They can't. If they move out to try to shoot, they're going to get absolutely just drilled. So over here, but that's good because he's focusing on them. I can just kind of sit over here and hang out, just do my thing because he's just focused on those guys. Some Scions back here. Now, when his health gets down a certain, about where it is now, he will start to kind of wander the map. Sometimes he'll come up to this section where I am right here. You can just go hide behind that box right there and take shots at him. But overall, this is not a real difficult strike, I don't think, when you compare it to the other ones. Now, the Nightfall, this can be one of the rougher Nightfalls. But I think if we're just talking about general, of course, as I'm saying this, I'm getting killed by these freaking Scions. That's the other thing too here. With these two guys hiding over here, they're not really working to take out the mobs, and that's one of the main things you have to be paying attention to when you're doing a strike is managing your mobs. You really have to keep an eye on the ads and really try to keep them down, because that's really the only way you're going to die in a strike is if the mobs just become a problem. The strike bosses themselves aren't very threatening. They're on kind of a set pattern. They have a pretty set move set and attack pattern, so you want to pay attention to those mobs. Those guys being over there in the corner, they're really not helping out at all. They're just focusing on the boss. Be a good teammate, help your other teammates take out the mobs so nobody gets swarmed. And now he's going to come up here. Like I said, his health gets down to a certain point. I'm missing my headshots terribly there. And at least those guys are together so they can revive each other. When he comes up here, like I said, you want to run back. You can run back behind this box here. Some rockets here. I'm going to unload on him. He is almost down. Alright, there he goes. Now, like I said, this was on the weekly strike at level 30, so this was a lot more difficult than the normal strike. And I've only been recording here for about 18 minutes, and not all of that was actually playing in the strike, so that definitely did not take that long, and didn't have the greatest teammates, I'll say, either. They were over there hiding in that little space over there, so, whatever, but we managed to get through it. I didn't have any deaths myself, so that's a win for me. Got 9 strange coins because this is the weekly, so you do get a little bit better rewards for it. You'll get some engrams and some strange coins. And we're going to see how long that actually took. Because the average, like I said, on this strike is 27 minutes. And I just don't see why it's taking people that long to do. You can see there, we actually finished that in 16 minutes and 43 seconds. And that's a little bit of a longer time because of the more difficult enemies you have in the weekly strike. Like I said, when I run this on the playlist, on the rocks playlist. Even if we get a teammate that quits and it's just two of us, normally we can still finish the strike in 15 minutes or so. So I guess people just don't know how to run it or just don't know the mechanics behind it. I'm not sure, but I just cannot for the life of me believe that that strike takes anyone 27 minutes to finish. So anyways, guys, that has been the guide to the Cerberus Vae 3 strike on Mars. If you're on the Xbox 360 or Xbox One, that is actually the only strike that you have on Mars. PlayStation 4, of course, has the Dust Palace as well, and I'll just show you where that is right here, guys. Normally it's level 18 strike. You can run this, you can get this in all the strike playlists as well, so it scales to all those levels. Like I said, you're not going to see enemies anywhere near as difficult as what we faced in that level 30 weekly strike. You're not really going to have too many majors at all to deal with, except for the 3 bosses before the tank, and then Valastarok himself. So really not too bad of a strike. Not that difficult if you have a decent team that knows what they're doing, and like I said, stay up on that right platform. That's a really easy area to stay alive. Don't have a lot of places to worry about enemies coming out, and you got plenty of cover to take cover from the boss when he shoots his missiles or his machine gun. So that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video, this little quick, I don't know, really quick, but quick look at Cerberus Vae the Third. I'll be doing the rest of the strikes as well to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to get through them a little bit faster and easier. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and I will see you again next time.